All right, let's get into some of these new coaching hires. I want to know who you guys think out of the new coaches that have been hired at the high major level, right? I want to know who you guys are willing to bet your house on in terms of them finding success at the college level. Tio, I'm going to go to you first on this one.
Guys, I developed somewhat of a coach crush on Todd Golden of Florida. Whenever we got to interview him, I thought he was really bright. I thought he was sharp. He had a charisma about him, which you need. I feel like we are about to pick him. Is that what you're doing over there, Fanta?
I was not going to pick him.
Oh, okay. No,
I love Todd Golden. Trust me, it's a great pick. I'm not going to
think I really just because he had a way about him. It's hard to really pinpoint that, but guys that can take guys with you, guys who think outside of the box, guys who look like he's going to be able to recruit and find guys. He had a heck of a story about Anthony Mclemore at Auburn, how he was the guy, he was the backup and ends up starting for him at the Final Four. I thought that was really cool. His ability to find guys, and the SEC that's so rugged, if you can find a diamond or two to play along with some of these guys that you're going to be able to get, I think that plus his analytical approach, plus all these different things, I think he's going to be somebody to keep an eye on and somebody that's going to have Florida in the second round of the tournament consistently.
Well, Golden was mine as well, but
okay, that's why.
The one thing about this cycle was I thought that many schools hit some home runs. So if you're asking me, because the question is the one guy that I can bet on that he will find success at the college level, it's easy because he's a college head coach and the program is a winning program. So if I can't pick Todd Golden to bet on, then I'm betting that Sean Miller at Xavier is going to be a successful ride. Here's why. Xavier is a staple to the NCAA tournament. They had missed it the last 4 years. That's because Travis Steele failed. That was the longest gap that Xavier basketball has had in missing the NCAA tournament since 1982, since the early 1980s. In other words, over the last 3 decades, Xavier has been one of the most underrated, really solid jobs in the country. They're committed to winning in basketball. They spend a lot of money in basketball. Walk into the Cintas Center and you will quickly learn it is run like a professional organization. Their desire to win in hoops. Does Sean Miller have some things that are hanging over his head? Yes, he does. And we'll see what the results of those things are. I think based on what's happened to others, I don't think it's going to be that severe. And I don't think Xavier makes that hire unless Greg Christopher, who's on an NCAA ethics committee, and the Xavier athletic director, unless he checks in with some people to make sure that it's going to be all right at the end of the day. Xavier's a winning program. Before 2018, they had been to 12 of the last 13 NCAA tournaments. Chris Mack had them as a 1 seed. And as an 11 seed, got them to an Elite 8. Sean Miller knows what Xavier is and knows how successful they can be. I think that the Musketeers are going to crack into a top 25 poll at some point next season or a couple times next season. I just think that it's a bear that's waiting to wake up. That's always been a bear, but the problem is they just haven't had the right leader the last couple of years. Like Xavier is one of the better programs in the Big East from an asset standpoint and from a success standpoint. They're going to get back on track here under Sean Miller. I'm betting that works out for the Musketeers and that they will make deep runs in the NCAA tournament because Miller's done it. Xavier cares more than others, and they're going to continue to get talent. Travis Steele brought in talent. He couldn't weave it together. Sean Miller will bring in talent, and he will.
Yep. So I think that Sean and Todd Golden were the two picks that I would have put here. But I think that throughout this cycle, there were a lot of hires that I liked. I think Shaheen Holloway at Seton Hall is a perfect fit.
Yeah, he's picked up some good players too.
Yeah, I think he's going to find a way to get that thing going, and Seton Hall is going to be at the same level it's been under Willard. I'm not going to sit here and say that I think they're going to be winning the Big East. I think that's certainly in the range of outcomes, but there's not going to be a drop off. They're going to be relevant. They're going to keep making NCAA.
Different Big East now.
Yeah, I love
different Big East. The Big East door's never been this open.
You're not wrong about that. I love Chris Jans at Mississippi State. That program that dude with the way that he can build rosters, the way he can kind of get guys that are, I don't want to say a diamond in the rough, but kind of have a little bit of a chip on them, right? That have a little bit of stuff that they need to work on. I think that Kevin Willard at Maryland is a really, really good hire, especially because of the staff that he's been able to put together. So I like that one as well. I think I'm most interested to see what Kenny Payne is going to end up doing at Louisville.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to get players. I think he's going to be able to continue to develop that program. I think that hiring Nolan Smith was really sharp. I'm a big fan of him. I think bringing in Danny Manning and making sure you have someone that's had some level of head coaching experience, which Manning has, is important when you're a first-time head coach. So I really like that one as well. I'm not going to sit here and kill anybody.
Prom. Are we not going to talk about Prom? Kind of to go along the same lines.
Is Murray State
as Fanta? We're going to leave Steve out. We're going to leave Steve out.
Grand Slam
along the same lines.
High major.
As John Fanta. Dude, we might as well over the last however many years call Murray State close.
Yeah, no, I love.
He's coming back home.
Murray. I think that Archie's going to light it up at Rhode Island. I think Frank Martin at UMass is going to be. Really
I thought that was a great, not a good hire by UMass. I thought that was a great hire because
good of a hire
fits that school so much better than South Carolina. So much better. South Carolina is worried about. He made a comment a few years ago. I'll never forget it because I feel the same way living in South Carolina. It's like, hey man, we just came off a Final Four, and I turned on the radio and they're talking about third string offensive linemen. Like what? And like that's that. I get it. I get it. Where I understand where I live, but I also understood his gripe big time because it's just kind of crazy that they had success and he couldn't get that snowball going. UMass, a little bit gritty of a school, more gritty in terms of basketball players they've had throughout their history. I think he is an excellent hire, an excellent fit. I'm really happy for Frank. I love Frank. I think he's awesome.
One underrated hire in the cycle, Eric Kunkel at Tulsa. He was due for a bit of a leap. This is a guy who won 20 or more games in 6 of 7 years at Louisiana Tech. And the fact is, Tulsa's in an American Athletic Conference that is in flux. I mean, that league is in a weird state. So the point is, like, if I'm Eric Kunkel and I'm on the run that he's been on, and I really like the way he coaches his teams, I think that that's a place that he can get Tulsa going because they're in a league that's gettable. It's manageable for him to step in and start to get his guys and start to do things his way. So underappreciated hire in the cycle for me was Coach Kunkel.
Yeah, I really like Michael Lewis at Ball State for a number of reasons, but more than anything else, he is about as Indiana as you can get. He's from Jasper. He was state player of the year. He played for Bobby Knight. He coached with Brad Stevens. He's been on staff with Mick Cronin. He's been on staff with Tim Miles. Like he's a good basketball mind that lives and bleeds the Hoosier State. And I just think that he's going to find a way to get Ball State going. That's the perfect fit for me when it comes to a head coach. But listen, we've been here for almost an hour now.
So much for 30, 35 minutes and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, I know, right? It's Fanta starts telling stories. Before we leave, Fanta, I need you to wrap it up. Please explain to the people what happened. You got hacked. What did you do? Let us know.
Clicked on the wrong link. Down? Yeah, I'm guilty of clicking on the wrong link to a verified account. And somebody said, hey, you should click on this to verify your verification because we know what the blue check mark means. I fell for it. I did not check Rob's tweet making people aware that this was going around. I fell for it. I was hacked. I appreciate that the hacker had fun with it and didn't start sending out tweets selling $4.99 headphones. He tweeted out, what do people like more, Fanta or Coca-Cola? And worked with Twitter support. It took about 72 hours. It was a relaxing 72 hours without Twitter. I binge watched a bunch of chick flicks with the lady and sat on the couch and just kind of relaxed. But thank you, Twitter support, because you got me back on Twitter, and the hacker has been solved.
Hey, Twitter support, I need some help getting my blue check back. I need a little blue check. I get bad advice from Doster and Goodman. Hey man, you need to get rid of Coach on your Twitter handle. So
I
then
never
people
said
know
that.
you're doing that.
I never
you need to
said
get rid
that.
of Coach.
Everyone knew it. Everyone knew what you wanted to do that. You were worried about people thinking you were still a coach. I said, T.O., everyone knows who you are. You definitely. I said, T.O., you keep living the dream, baby. You keep living the dream.
Oh yeah. Well, I changed it. Hey, Twitter, I need my blue check back, please.
Get it back. Get it back.
We need
this was great.
A blue check TO movement. We already had give Fanta his stuff.
Get TO as blue check. That's how we're signing this off. Get TO as blue check. Let's
give me my blue check, Twitter, please.